So begin laying on your back. Start with your knees bent. Allow the heaviness of your bones to settle, especially the sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of your spine. If it's comfortable to extend the heels away from the crown of the head, you can do that. And then bring your awareness to your breath. Take this moment to observe the quality of the breath before your practice. Notice if your chest feels tight or open. If your breath is short or long. If the inhales or the exhales bear more weight. And then we will take a moment to intentionally deepen the breath. Bring your awareness to your diaphragm, that muscle right below the ribs that facilitates the breath. And as you inhale deeply, feel it expand downward. As you exhale completely, feel the body soften back and spread wide across the floor. With your next inhale, take the breath past the diaphragm, all the way down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And again, as you exhale, completely sink into the support of the ground beneath you. Feel the stacking of the bones and joints in the back body plane, connecting to that universal blueprint for optimal alignment, where the body is supported by the skeletal system and the muscles and the organs don't have to work as hard. Have a few more deep, long breaths here. And then we'll do a quick scan through the physical body. From the bottoms of your feet and the tips of your toes, inhale and draw your awareness up through your legs, into your pelvis, your hips, your low back. Remembering that at any moment you can feel free to make an adjustment if something doesn't quite feel right. Another tool that we have is our breath. Inhale deeply into the areas that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, allow some of that tension to leave the body with the breath. Next inhale pulls your awareness up your torso, into your shoulders, your neck, and your face. Once again, just noticing where in your upper body you're holding tension today. Use the breath to bring your awareness there. As you inhale, create space. Invite fresh blood and oxygen into those areas, bringing health, healing, and vitality. And as you exhale completely, consciously ask the body to soften, release, and let go. Lastly, check in with your mind. Notice where your thoughts are at. Notice the speed at which they move through you. Allow yourself to step back from identifying as your thoughts and begin to witness their passing through the mind like clouds through the sky. without getting attached or carried away, without judging yourself for what you're thinking about, but beginning to notice the habits and patterns in the way your mind turns. Bring your awareness back and anchor it fully on your breath. Have a few more of those deep, long breaths down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And softening back into the support of the ground beneath you. Our focus today is on the action, energy, and alignment of the muscles at the core. Remembering that we want to cultivate balance in both the left and right side and the front and back bodies. The whole front body is considered the individual body. And the third chakra at the abdominal region is considered the ego center of the individual body. It is said to be where the will and the ego reside, our seat of personal power. So the action here is always an action of drawing in and up, reining the ego in to work for the higher self, the universal body, the collective well-being of all things, which is symbolized by that stacking of the bones and joints in the back body plane, that universal blueprint for optimal alignment. We're going to start off doing some core work on the floor. So you can extend both heels up towards the ceiling. And if it's difficult to get the body into a 90-degree angle here, you can lift the hips and place a block or a pillow or a blanket under your sacrum. We want to press the thigh bones away, creating space between the abdomen and the hip bones and the thigh bones. Interlace your hands behind your head and lift your head up to gaze at your abdomen. Drawing the belly button in towards the spine. And as you exhale, right thigh bone, both thigh bones press away from you and slowly lower the right leg towards the mat. Extending through the right heel, pausing and hovering just before that heel touches the ground. And inhale, lift that leg back up. Both thigh bones are still pressing away from you as you exhale and lower the left leg towards the floor. Press out through that left heel. Hover just above the floor and inhale back to center. Do 4 more times on each side at your own pace. Looking at your abdomen and noticing if the muscles are popping up in the center. If that's the case, exhale and try to soften them back and spread them wide across the floor. Finding the balance between drawing the abdomen in and up and pressing the thigh bones away from you. That maintains a slight arch in the lower back as you work. And feel the burn. Fire is the element of the third chakra. Having the capacity to burn through the things that are not serving us and continue to stoke and fuel our hopes and dreams and what we truly desire to cultivate. Once you've done 5 times on each leg, you can draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to massage the low back a little bit. We'll do one more core exercise on the floor with your arms spread wide and the knees drawn into the chest. Hug the knees tight in towards you and feel how that's the same action of drawing the abdomen in and up. Maintain that as you exhale and take the knees up and over towards the right elbow. Turn your abdomen back to the left. Hover, don't let the legs touch the floor. Keep that left shoulder grounded. And then inhale back up to center. Exhale, take the knees up and over to the right. Turning the abdomen back. Turning the abdomen the opposite direction. I think I got confused there. Keep lifting the legs. Don't let them collapse onto the floor, and inhale back to center. You're doing 4 more times on your own in each direction. Turning the abdomen back in the opposite direction, away from the knees. Lifting the knees that last little inch to touch your elbow. Feeling how that is where all of the benefits of the pose lie. Moving slowly to observe. Using the bottom leg to lift the top leg up. If there's any discomfort in your lower back as you work, you can just back off it. Move right to the edge before you feel the discomfort and build the strength in your body in proper alignment to support whatever injury or misalignment you may have. Good. And once you've done 5 times in each direction, again, you can draw your knees into your chest. And now we're going to stretch the legs with the strap. So if you haven't already, you can grab a belt, a scarf, a dog leash if you don't have an official yoga strap. And we're combining the action of stretching the legs with the action we were just working at the abdomen and the core. Take the strap around the upper arch and the lower ball of your right foot and extend your right heel up towards the ceiling as you extend your left leg out along the mat. Press through both heels and press both thigh bones down. So that the whole midline of the left leg hugs towards the floor and this right thigh bone presses away from the crown of the head, creating balance and evenness in the grounding of the sacrum and the lengthened space in your lower back. And then draw that right leg more actively towards yourself. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Breathe into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, see where you can soften, release, and let go. Press your whole left side body down firmly. Left toes flexed and active, pointing straight up. And slowly open the right leg to the right side. Remember that you don't want to just collapse your leg down. That's not what we're doing. But press through both heels and then the balls of both feet. Root both thigh bones down in their respective directions. So the left thigh bone towards the floor, the right thigh bone away from the crown of the head. And as you're pressing out through that right heel, draw your abdomen back and turn it to the left. So you're cultivating that balance and evenness in the grounding, not just of the sacrum, but of the back of the ribs and kidneys as well. Have 3 more deep, long breaths, locking these actions and this alignment into your muscle memory for your triangle pose. Go ahead. Inhale that leg back up to center. Take the strap into the left hand. Reconnect and recommit to the activation of your legs so you're pressing out through both heels and the balls of both feet. Rooting both thigh bones down in their respective directions. And then gently take that right leg across to the left side body. Keep your left toes flexed and active, pointing up. Feel how that deepens the stretch through the outer right hip and the IT band of the right leg. And then again, exhale, soften your abdomen back, and this time turn it back to the right. Grounding the ribs and kidneys evenly. Have 3 more deep, long breaths here. And then inhale to center and exhale, release your foot from the strap. Shimmy out your hips a little bit. Observe the different sensations and the different sides of your body. And then take the strap around the upper arch and the lower ball of the left foot. Both feet are flexed and active. Press through the heels and then the balls of the feet. Right thigh bone roots firmly down towards the floor. Left thigh bone presses away from the crown of your head. Keep all of that action and work as you begin to draw the leg more actively towards yourself. And be with your breath. 3 more deep, long breaths. Breathing into those areas that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, soften more deeply into the stretch. Take the strap into your left hand. Press your whole right side body down firmly to act as your anchor as you take the left leg out to the left side. Remembering that we don't want to just collapse here. We want to use our awareness to cultivate balance. Press through both heels and the balls of both feet. Press the whole midline of the right leg firmly down. And the left thigh bone is still rooting away from the crown, so there's no crunching in the lower back on the left side. As you press out through that left heel, soften your abdomen back and turn the lower abdomen back to the right. Cultivating that balance and evenness in the grounding of the sacrum, the low back, the ribs, the kidneys. 3 more deep, long breaths. Remembering this alignment for your triangle pose. All of the same actions taking place. Good work. And inhale that leg back up to center. Reconnect and recommit to the activation of both of your legs. Press through the heels and the balls of the feet. Right toes flexed and active, pointing straight up, right inner thigh grounding down as you take that left leg across to the right side body. Rooting the outer right hip down towards the left heel. So the sacrum, even though the shape is asymmetrical, you're cultivating as much balance and evenness as you can. Lifting that left heel towards the height of the hip. Soften your abdomen back into the left. 3 more deep, long breaths. Breathe into those places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale completely, see what you can, release, and let go of. Inhale to center. Release your foot from the strap. Lower your leg to the mat. Shimmy out your hips a little bit. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Massage your low back. Exhale onto your right side body. Press down with the palms to lift up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Check back in. Build your connection to the shape from the ground up. Looking for that same alignment that we created laying on our backs. The stacking of the bones and joints in the back body plane. That brings a lightness into the body. So if your pelvis is tilted back here, you can't lift up through the heart and the crown of the head. Inner rotating the thighs to move the flesh of the buttocks out may help. Otherwise, sit up on a block or a blanket or anything you have around the house. As we press into both sits bones, we get the leverage to cinch the hip bones and the low ribs together. So the abdomen draws in and up, but it's not just sucking your stomach in. It's cinching together to engage the core, to lift the spine. Lift through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. Roll the shoulders together down and into the back body. Good. So this is a basic alignment class, but the core classes are the classes that require the most like physical effort, exertion from the body. They are the hardest work. And I've just been really feeling the hard work lately. I was in Mississippi for the past 2 days with my partner, just clearing out the land, which is beautiful and completely covered in poison ivy. And so a friend of mine was helping me, and we were doing some research about poison ivy and what to do with it and how to deal with it. And I found some really beautiful information and some really beautiful lessons that I'm trying to hold in my heart while I try not to rip my skin off because I'm covered my wrists where my shirt kept popping up. But poison ivy grows in sacred spaces. So beautiful little places, streams by the creek and the water, which is what we have. And it encourages us to be very conscious of how we move through the space so that we can honor the sacredness of the space. And that if we do choose to be there or to clear spaces for ourselves, we have to do it with the utmost intention and respect. Another beautiful thing, it reminds us that the earth always provides, because the jewel weed, which is like the antidote to the itch, is growing right there mixed in amidst the poison ivy. And so there's just a lot of lessons here about how important our alignment is, right? But in our yoga practice, it often gets talked about we just align with the universe and we just receive. And it's there's a part of it that's about alignment. And then there's that other part of it that is being willing to get in there, to dig deep, to do the hard work. Sometimes the physical labor, sometimes the suffering. Oh yeah, it's also Vivian's birthday today. So I've been thinking a lot about what it takes to birth our dreams into the world, and not wanting to forget about the actual physical hard work and labor that we put into creating our lives. So that's what we'll think about today while we work the core, knowing that this is the most physically demanding part of the body, and that we'll do it for a week, and then we'll move into the heart. So inhale and reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale through the mouth with sound, release down. Good, 2 more times like that. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely, once more. Good. And inhale to prepare for the sound of Om 3 times together. Pausing for a moment, allowing those vibrations to resonate through the body, helping us to become aware of where our energy is stuck. We'll do a pranayama that activates the core and generates a heat, which is the element of the third chakra, continuing to burn through the blockages in our energy channels. So you can just inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale completely through the nose. Inhale to prepare. And exhale. Good. Return to your normal breath. Feeling that heat that is being generated at the abdomen. Feeling how the fire burns and moves the energy up through to the crown of the head. And then we'll come onto our hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide, ground your knees right under your hips. Keep a gentle engagement in the abdomen, drawing it in towards the spine. Even as you arch the back, tilt the tailbone and the gaze up. Exhale, press down, curl the spine to the ceiling. Continue at your own pace. Sync the motions of the body with the breath. Use the breath to deepen the motions of your body. Allow that synchronicity to bring you fully and completely into the present moment. Move in any way that feels good to you within the confines of the shapes. Allow the mind to connect with and receive the wisdom of the body. Remembering that you are the #1 authority on your body and your practice. And then we will return to center, and with an inhale, lift your right leg straight behind you. Toes flexed and active, pointing down. Finding that balance and evenness in the pelvis. With your next inhale, lift your left arm. Lift the abdomen towards the spine and stretch long through the back body plane. With your next inhale, bring the elbow and the nose to the knee. And exhale, extend. Inhale, pull in. Exhale, shine out. 3 more times on this side on your own. Exploring those movements. Being aware that we're not arching our back here. We are trying to create one long line of energy through the body as we extend. And once you've done 5 times on that side, you can release. Pause for a breath. And then inhale, lift your left leg straight behind you. Lift from your inner thigh in the center of the heel. Find that balance and evenness in the hips. Inhale, draw the abdomen in and up and lift the right arm. As you exhale, stretch the body long. One long line of energy through the back body. Next inhale, the nose and the elbow to the knee. And exhale, stretch. Inhale, draw in and up. And exhale, extend out. 3 more times on your own. Good. And release down. You can tuck your toes and lift your hips high. Come into downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal your feet, sway your hips. Move in any way that feels good to you here to release tension. And then find some stillness. Hands evenly grounded, feet evenly grounded as wide as the hips. Make sure that you're turning your outer edge of your feet parallel with the outer edge of your mat. Take a slight bend in your knees right over your ankles. And as you inhale, lift and spread the fingers and toes. Lift the abdomen towards the spine and lift your hips high. As you exhale, thigh bones back. That same action we've been working to create that lengthened space in the lower back. Let your head hang heavy. 3 more deep, long breaths. With an inhale, float forward into your plank pose and pause here. Hips are at the height of the shoulders, and then we root the tailbone down. The abdomen lifts towards the spine, and the low ribs and the hip bones cinch towards each other. Lift the back of the ribs to meet the shoulder blades. Roll the shoulders down the back and extend through the crown of the head. 1 more big breath. And exhale, lower the knees, the chest, the chin. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, lift your heart. Roll your shoulders back. Everything on the ground pressing firmly down to lift the heart and crown. The tailbone, the energy from the pelvis still extends through the heels, and the low belly still hugs the spine. Have 1 more breath. And exhale, seat to heels, child's pose. Allow the weight of your hips to settle energetically towards your heels. And from the grounding in your lower body, inhale and breathe. Lengthen space into each vertebrae in the spine. Exhale here. Inhale, lift your abdomen and walk your hands to the right. Place the abdomen on the right thigh. Widen the left hip gently to the left. Allow the hardness of the thigh bone to soften the abdominal muscles here and begin to massage the organs. Have a few more deep, long breaths. And inhale back to center. Exhale, pause. Inhale, rise, hands and knees. Walk the hands over to the left side. Place your abdomen on your left thigh. Widen the right hip to the right. Have a few deep, long breaths. Sinking into the support and the hardness of the left thigh bone, allowing it to massage the abdominal muscles and stimulate the organs. Good. With an inhale, return to center. And exhale, pause. Inhale, rise, hands and knees, arch your back, gaze up. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips high, press back, downward facing dog. Return to your breath. Building your shape from the ground up, so hands and feet evenly grounded. Outer edge of your feet parallel with outer edge of your mat. As you inhale, lift and spread the fingers and toes. Lift the abdomen towards the spine. Lift the booty high. As you exhale, press your thigh bones back. Allow your heels to settle. Let your head hang heavy. 3 more deep, long breaths. Good. With an inhale, walk your fingertips forward walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Feet as wide as the hips, outer edge of your feet parallel with outer edge of your mat. Feel free to bend the knees if that feels good to you. Let your abdomen soften. Come towards your thighs here. Let your head hang heavy. Shake it, yes. And no. Grab opposite elbows and sway. Move it any way that feels good to you to release tension from the back, the shoulders, and the neck. Let it drain out through the crown of the head. With an inhale, return to center, and exhale, release. Next inhale, begin to roll up. Pelvis spins around the femur bones. Vertebrae stack. Shoulders and head are the last things to rise. Good. So, checking in with our alignment. The lift of the abdomen is initiated by the lift of the arch. So as you lift and spread your toes, press through your big toe mound, feel how your arch lifts. That lifts the whole inner thigh, inner groin, pelvic floor, which is where the lift of the abdomen begins. So we are standing with our feet as wide as our hips, and lift and spread your toes, press through your big toe mound, ground your toes down, but keep that lift in the arch. Take your thigh bones back so that the center of your buttock or center of your hips comes over your knees and ankles, and with the thigh bones back, draw the center of the buttocks into the midline to root the tailbone down. That enables the lift in and up from the pelvic floor. Draw the abdomen towards the spine and cinch the low ribs and the hip bones together. Feel how strong and compact you are at your core. Stay that way forever and ever. Just kidding. Inhale, reach your arms up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. And exhale, lean up and over to the right side. Pressing down from the tailbone through the heels to lift the frontal hip bones, lift the abdomen. Everything is stacked in the side body plane as you stretch the spine long. And inhale back to center. Feel, reach straight up with your fingertips, feel and find your center. If the weight has gone into the toes, that means take your thigh bones back again. Root down, reset. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and take it up and over to the left side. Cinching the hip bones and the ribs together to engage the abdomen as you stretch both side bodies and sides of your neck long. Have one more big breath. And inhale to center. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Abdomen lifts here. Exhale, fold deeply. Abdomen still lifts here. Do that a few more times. Inhale, lift your abdomen, thigh bones back, heart forward. Exhale, keep those frontal hip bones lifting off the thigh bones as you fold more deeply. 3 more times at your own pace. Finding this action of lifting the frontal hip bones that creates space in the body as you fold forward. We're always looking to create more ease and space and freedom in our bodies as we move through the shapes. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Exhale, left leg back, lower left knee down. You can keep your hands grounded on the floor, bring them up to your top thigh, or lift them overhead. But as you inhale next, hug your legs towards each other like scissors. Feel how it engages the inner thighs and begins to initiate that lift from the pelvic floor. Drawing the abdomen, the pelvic triangle, turn this way. This part of the body, the pelvic triangle, draws in and up. Then we take the center of the buttocks forward to open up through that hip flexor. You can stay at center or grab the left wrist with the right hand. And exhale up and over to the right side. Widening the left hip to the left to stabilize the pelvis. Have 3 deep, long breaths. Ooh, good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release your hands. Next inhale, step your back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, step your right leg back, lower your right knee down. Choose your own adventure in terms of the level of support that you would like. Hands on the floor is perfect. You can still perform all the actions. Hands on the front thigh or hands overhead. But as you inhale, hug your legs towards each other energetically like scissors. Feel how that lifts you up and out of the pose a little bit, aligning the pelvis. Tailbone roots down, and that pelvic triangle draws in and up. Hip bones and low ribs cinch towards each other as you take the center of the buttocks forward. You can stay right here, or grab your right wrist with your left hand and exhale up and over to the left side. So even as we are stretching sideways, the bones and joints stack in the back body plane. The side bodies and sides of the neck are both long. Have 1 more deep, long breath. And inhale to center. Exhale, release. Inhale, step your back foot forward, get length through your spine. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Tadasana. My mat is all crooked and I can't tell what I'm doing. Check back in with your alignment here. Outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Lift and spread the toes, stretch them out, ground them down. Thigh bones back, center of the buttocks into the midline. Lift the pelvic triangle, cinch the hip bones and the low ribs together. Again, inhale, arms reach up. This time we are twisting. We're gonna widen the left inner thigh to the left as we turn the torso to the right. So our hips stay facing forward. The twist happens at the core. The shoulders move towards the side body plane. 3 breaths. Still rooting the tailbone down towards the heels and drawing the abdomen in towards the spine. Why is it so hard every time? Inhale back to center. Feel and find the center. Notice if your weight has gone to your toes and take your thigh bones back. Widen your right inner thigh to the right. Inhale, lift your abdomen towards your spine, and exhale, turn to the left. So your hips stay facing forward. Your twist happens at your core. And your shoulders move towards the side body plane. 3 breaths. Oh, good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your left leg back. Low lunge on the right side. This time, keeping the back knee lifted if that's accessible. If you need to lower it for stability, also awesome. As you inhale, hugging your legs together, that front knee is stacked over the ankle. The legs hug together to bring the hips to face forward. The back thigh bone and the abdomen lift. There's one long line of energy through your body as you extend from the tailbone through the heel, from the tailbone through the crown. And with an inhale, lift your right arm up for the twist. So we get length through the spine. We're widening our left inner thigh to the left, turning the abdomen. Press through your palms to roll your shoulders together down and into your back body. 3 breaths. And exhale, release. Inhale, step your back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, right leg back. Stack that front knee right over the front ankle. Lower the back knee if that feels appropriate. As you inhale, either way, hugging the legs together. It's gonna lift your back thigh bone, lift your abdomen away from your front thigh bone. Keep that as you stretch from the tailbone through the heel, from the tailbone through the crown. And then widen that right inner thigh to the right as you lift the left arm up for a twist. The hips act as your anchor. The low ribs and the hip bones cinch towards each other as you turn back to the left. Press through your palms to roll the shoulders into the back body. 3 breaths. And release. Inhale, step your back foot forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release your arms down by your sides. And checking on the time. I think I'm gonna pause the Instagram one and then we'll move on. Share. Here we go, yeah. Okay. So let's take our feet wide. Outer edge of your feet parallel with the outer edge of the mat. Ankles under the wrists. Turn your left foot in slightly. Turn your right foot out all the way. Exhale, a deep bend in your front knee, right over your front ankle. Stack the bones and joints. That thigh is coming towards parallel with the earth. Back thigh bone is back in line with the knee and ankle of the back leg. So that both thigh bones press back, the hips fully open in the side body plane. The tailbone's rooting down right between the sits bones. And then we're lifting that frontal hip bone away from the thigh bone to center the torso. 3 more deep, long breaths. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Turn the right foot parallel with the back of the side of the mat. Turn your left foot out all the way. Exhale that deep bend in your front knee. Stack the knee over the ankle. Press both thigh bones back so that back hip is in line with the knee and ankle of the back leg. And the tailbone roots down. Pelvic triangle, and especially frontal hip bone, lift up. Low ribs and hip bones cinch together. Gaze over your front fingertips. 3 more deep, long breaths. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Turn both feet to face forward. Once again, left foot parallel with the back edge of the mat or slightly turned in. Right foot turned out all the way. As you exhale, widening the back hip back from the inner thigh back, cutting the front thigh bone towards the back thigh bone, making sure the hips are back, stacked to the knee and ankle of the back leg. Abdomen drawn back, stretch your side bodies long as you come down into your triangle pose. Scan your body from the ground up. Check back in with that big toe mound to activate the arch. From the back of the knees, lifting up towards the sits bones. From the back of the knees, pressing down through your heels. Draw your abdomen back and turn it to the left. Just like we did with that leg stretch at the beginning of class. 3 more deep, long breaths. Thigh bone of the front leg back. Buttock into the midline of the body. And inhale, rise. Turn your right foot in slightly and your left foot out all the way. Again, standing the back thigh bone back in line with the knee and ankle. widening from the inside out as you cut the front thigh bone back. Buttock into the midline and abdomen drawn back. Low ribs and hip bones cinched together as you stretch your side bodies long to come down into your triangle pose. And then scan your body from the ground up. Noticing places where things collapse as places where we need to make adjustments. Press through your big toe mound. From the back of your knees, lifting up towards your sits bones. From the back of your knees, pressing down through your heels. That front thigh bone is back towards the back thigh bone and buttock into the midline of the body. Draw your abdomen back and turn it to the right. 3 more deep, long breaths. Inhale, rise. Turn both feet in. 1 more time, or maybe 2. Left foot in slightly, right foot out all the way. Deep bend in your front knee. You can take your elbow to your knee if you would like. You can take your fingertips to the floor behind your foot if you would like. But that back thigh bone is back in line with the knee and ankle of the back leg. From the tailbone, root down through the back heel and the back edge of the back foot. Keep your abdomen drawn back towards your spine. Low ribs and hip bones cinched together as you stretch that left arm over the ear. The front buttock hugs into the midline of the body. The frontal hip bone lifts away from the front thigh bone even here. Abdomen back and turns to the left. 3 more deep, long breaths. Good work. Inhale, rise. Right foot turns in slightly, left foot turns out all the way. Deep bend in your front knee. You can stack ankle, knee, elbow, shoulder, or bring the fingertips to the floor behind your foot. This back thigh bone is back. It creates space in the lower back as you press from the tailbone through the back heel and the back edge of the back foot. The front buttock still hugging into the midline and the frontal hip bone still lifting away from the front thigh bone as you stretch the right arm over your ear. 1 long line of energy through your whole body. Abdomen back and turning up to the right. Notice the tendency to just pop your low ribs out. Keep the low ribs and the hip bones cinched towards each other. 3 breaths. And inhale, rise. Turn the outer edge of both feet parallel with the outer edge of the mat. Press from the tailbone through the heels. Lift the frontal hip bones. Inhale, lift the sternum. Exhale, fold forward. Over your legs. Bringing your hands to the floor, either under your shoulders or back between your feet, as wide as your shoulders. Lift and spread your toes, stretch them out, ground them down. Slight bend in the knees. From the back of the knees, lift up. From the back of the knees, press down. Lift your frontal hip bones away from your thigh bones, even here. Press into your palms to lift your shoulders away from your ears and let your head hang heavy. Have 5 deep, long breaths. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Ground your left hand under your face, bring your right hand onto your sacrum. Widen your left inner thigh to the left to stabilize the pelvis. Lift the abdomen towards the spine and lift the frontal hip bones. Lift the right arm up for a twist. Keep widening that left hip to the left. Turning the abdomen. Press out through the palms to hug the shoulders into the back body. 5 breaths. And with an exhale, release. Have a breath at center. Let your head hang heavy. It must be thundering in some part of the world because Baleen is scared. Inhale, gaze forward, get length. Ground your right hand under your face. Left hand on your sacrum. Widen that right hip to the right to stabilize the pelvis. Lift the frontal hip bones so that your sacrum is parallel to the floor. And with an inhale, turn the torso and the abdomen to the left. Lift your left arm up. Keep widening that right hip to the right. Press out through the palms to roll the shoulders back. 5 breaths. And exhale, release. Forward fold. Hug the shaking dog. You're gonna be okay. Hands on the hips, ground down to lift up with an inhale. Step the feet together. We will close out our standing poses with a balancing pose. Shift the weight onto your left foot. And inhale. So make sure your left foot's facing forward, outer edge of the foot parallel with outer edge of the mat. Press through the 4 corners of your foot. Inhale, lift your right knee. Interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Take your standing thigh bone back and press your lifted thigh bone down into your hands. Maybe you want to stay here. Maybe you want to extend your heel forward. Maybe you want to stay here. Maybe you want to lift your abdomen and fold. 5 breaths. Inhale, lift the gaze and bend your knee. Exhale, release. Ooh. Shake it out a little bit. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, through the mouth of the sound, let go. In our balancing poses, we really get to see how we speak to ourselves when we get frustrated. Still have sticks in my hair from Mississippi. There we go. And then we'll shift our weight and move forward, letting go of whatever happened on the first side. Make sure the outer edge of your right foot is parallel with the outer edge of your mat. Press through the 4 corners and inhale, lift your left leg. Notice how as soon as you lift your leg, your hips want to go forward. Standing thigh bone back. Pressing the leg down into the hands to root the lifted thigh bone down. Welcome to stay here, to extend your heel forward, or to walk the hands forward and begin to lift the abdomen and fold. 5 breaths. Inhale, rise and bend your knee. Exhale, release. Shake it out. At the top of your mat, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, ground your palms, step or jump back. Come to downward dog or child's pose. Wherever you find yourself working, check back in with the quality of your breath, the tension in your body, and the speed of the thoughts through the mind at this point in your practice. Then return the breath Return the awareness to anchor on the breath. And wherever you are, we'll come forward with an inhale and exhale, lower onto the abdomen. So we did the front core work at the beginning of class, and now we're going to do the back core work. It's very important that we work the back of the core as much as the front of the core, so that there's a balance and the strength and stability all the way around the body. So often people just want to get a six-pack, and they completely neglect the back body, which actually may be more important. So interlace your hands behind your back, hug your legs energetically towards each other. Hi, Bailey. Inhale, lift everything you can lift up off the ground. And exhale, stretch out. 5 breaths. And with an exhale, release. Turn your head to one side. Gently sway out your hips. Allow yourself to find that balance of effort and ease. Soften into the support of the ground beneath you. And then bend your knees. Grab your feet or ankles. Don't let the knees spread out any wider than the hips. As you kick the feet back into the hands, pull the hands on the feet and lift the chest. The thigh bones stay grounded until the heels come over the knees, and then they lift straight up. 5 breaths. And exhale and turn your head to the other direction. Gently sway out your hips. And then we'll roll over onto our backs. I think you need to start right in the way. Bend your knees and ground your feet in close to your buttocks. Outer edge of your feet parallel with outer edge of your mat. Do not let your feet turn out here. That means that you're going to be using your big glutes and you're going to be crunching your lower back. The big glutes are not the muscles we're using here. Press the back of your head and shoulders into the mat. They become your foundation. Inhale, lift your pelvis, your low back, your middle back. You can interlace your hands beneath you if that feels good, or just turn your palms to face up to roll your shoulders under. Everything on the ground presses firmly down into the ground to lift the heart away from the upper arms. From the heart, extend through the knees. From the heart, extend through the crown. 5 breaths. And with an exhale, release. Oh. Sway your knees from side to side a little bit here. And then draw your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side, massage the low back a bit. And then rock forward and back to come up to seated. We'll finish with a few forward folds. Let's start with our soles of the feet together in this butterfly shape. Press the pinky toe side of the foot together and open up through the top of the foot. Top of your feet. As you press the pinky toes together, the knees press away from each other. Scoot in towards your heels any amount. And from the sits bones pressing down, lift the frontal hip bones, lift the spine. If your pelvis is tilted backwards here, the work is literally just to lift from the spine. You don't want to fold forward from here because you're going to strain that one part of your back that is tight. But once you get the lift, you can sit up on a blanket or something. You can begin to fold forward.
And if you are like me, you're pretty mobile, your pelvis can like flop around. The frontal hip bones lift to keep the sits bones grounded. We don't want to collapse our pelvis onto our thigh bones. That is same as like when the pelvis is tilted back, straining certain muscles. You're compressing the same part of your back over and over again when you collapse the pelvis forward. So you want to press the sits bones down, keep the frontal hip bones lifted, and hinge at the hips. Have 5 breaths. Inhale, rise. Keep the left foot in towards the groin. Extend, keep your right foot in towards your groin. It doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna do right foot in towards the groin and extend your left heel out. Ground your fingertips by your hips. Press through both sits bones. Lift the frontal hip bones and turn the abdomen slightly to the left. This little micro twist that allows you to fold straight over that front left leg. Maybe your hands rest by your calves. Maybe you can reach your foot. Maybe the left hand grabs the right wrist behind your foot. But either way, the sits bones ground. The frontal hip bones lift. The left side of the ribs draws up and back as the right draws forward and down. 5 breaths. Inhale, rise. And we're taking the right knee wide to the side, opening the hips in the side body plane. The left foot, flexed and active, pointing straight up. Whole midline of the left leg grounded firmly down. Reach your left fingertips out towards your left ankle. Press the right sit bone and the outer right hip down and acts as your anchor. Inhale, lift your abdomen, lift your frontal hip bones, and lift your right arm up and overhead. Remembering that we're not collapsing in any part of our body here. Any place in the body that feels jammed up and constricted, that means you need to make an adjustment. Lift the left hip bone away from the left thigh bone. Press through the right side of the pelvis as you stretch long, abdomen back, and then turning to the right. 3 more deep, long breaths. 5 breaths, actually. We're doing 5 breaths. Thank you, Bailey. Inhale, rise. Bring the left foot in and extend the right leg out. So we're gonna move in reverse. We're keeping the hips open in the side body plane to start. Press both sits bones down. Flex your right foot straight up to the ceiling. Whole midline of the right leg pressing firmly down as you reach the right fingertips out towards the right ankle. Left hip and thigh bone acts as your anchor. As you inhale, lift the left arm up. Stretch both side bodies long as you come down. Right frontal hip bone lifts away from the thigh bone. Abdomen draws back towards the spine and turns to the left. Have 5 breaths. Use the breath to go into the places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale, soften more deeply. It feels so good. Inhale, rise. Turn to face that straight right leg. The left foot is in towards the groin. Ground your fingertips by your hips. Inhale, lift the abdomen. Give yourself a little micro twist to the right and fold forward over that straight right leg. Maybe your hands ground by your shin. Maybe you can reach your foot. Maybe you can grab the left wrist with the right hand behind you. Either way, both sits bones ground firmly. Abdomen, frontal hip bones lift. Right ribs draw up and back as left ribs draw forward and down. Cultivating balance with our awareness, 5 breaths. And inhale, rise. Take both legs wide. Press the back of the knees down firmly. Press out through the heels. Soften the calves. Keep your feet flexed and active, pointing up. And as you exhale, fold. Sits bones grounded. Frontal hip bones lift. 5 breaths. It's like so sunny. I don't know why Baleen is shaking. Poor thing. The poor baby. The poor girl. She's very sensitive. Once you've had 5 breaths with an inhale, rise. And we'll make our way into Shavasana. Laying on your back. You can feel free to prop your legs up with a bolster or a chair, or to just bend the knees, ground the feet wide, and let the knees fall together. Palms rest at the sides of the body, facing up to roll the shoulders back. Return your awareness to your breath and allow it to be so deep and so long that it touches down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale completely, residual tension, anxiety, criticalness leaves the body with the breath through the fingertips. And I finished my Yoga Nidra class last week. So I'm going to lead you through a short little guided relaxation. It's my first time doing it, so bear with me. Bring your awareness into the top of your head. And inhale deeply. Allow your awareness to fill the top of the head. As you exhale completely, soften. Bring your awareness to the back and the sides of your head. Allow your awareness to fill completely the back and the sides of your head. And as you exhale, soften into the support of the ground beneath you. Bring your awareness into your face. Allow your awareness to fill your whole face. And as you exhale, completely soften the skin of the face, the muscles, back into the bones. which soften into the floor. Bring your awareness into your neck and throat. Allow your awareness to fill your neck and throat. And as you exhale, soften the skin, the muscle, the bones. Bring your awareness into your chest and shoulders. And as you exhale, allow your awareness to extend down through the arms, elbows, forearms, into the wrists, the hands, the fingers and fingertips. Allow your awareness to fill your whole arm. And as you exhale, soften your skin onto your bones, onto the floor beneath you. Inhale and draw the awareness back up into the chest and shoulders. Allow your awareness to fill your chest and shoulders. As you exhale, feel the skin soften around the muscles. As the muscles soften into the bones and the support of the ground beneath you. Allow your awareness to extend down through your torso to fill your ribs and your abdomen. Feel the skin soften around the muscles as they soften into the bones and sink into the support of the ground beneath you. Allow your awareness to extend down the torso into the pelvis, the sacrum, and the tip of the tailbone. Feel the skin soften back towards the muscles. Feel the muscles soften towards the bones as they sink into the support of the ground beneath you. Allow your awareness to extend out into the pelvis, the hips, the hip joints. Feel the skin soften around the muscles as they sink back into the bones, soften into the support of the ground beneath you. Allow your awareness to extend down through the thighs, knees, calves, and shins. Allow your skin on your legs to soften back towards the muscles as they soften to the bones, as the bones sink into the support of the ground beneath you. Allow your awareness to extend through the ankles and feet, through the toes, into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And allow the skin to soften down into the muscles as the muscles hug the bones. The bones sink into the support of the ground beneath you. Allow yourself to maintain awareness of all layers and levels of your being while you sink into the restorative rest of yogic sleep for just a few more minutes. Take this moment to savor any quiet, peace, or calm that has come into your body or mind through your practice today. And begin to intentionally deepen your inhales. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently sway your head. Inhale and stretch your arms up and overhead. Give yourself a big stretch from fingertips to tippy toes. Exhale here. Inhale, draw your knees into your chest. And exhale, roll to the right side body. Pause for a moment in that fetal position where we all begin and end. Press down with your palms to lift up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment. Check back in with the quality of the breath, the tension in your body, and the speed of your thoughts through your mind after your practice. We will seal our collective efforts with a single Om. Inhale deeply. Bring your hands to your heart and bow your head in gratitude for the tools of this practice that teach us to honor our hard work and efforts, to balance them with ease, finding that balance of will and surrender that enables flight Thank you for being here.
Namaste.
End the recording. How are you doing, Mom?